everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to contour your face with just powder, and I'm going to show you one side that you can do a little bit more sculpted, and then the other side you could do more daytime, but it's really easy both ways. I'm going to get in depth. It's going to be step by step, so if you're a beginner, this is the video for you. It's really easy. That's how I learned how to contour. I learned all my makeup stuff from YouTube, so I hope you guys like this video. I hope it helps you. If you like this video, hit like, and then also hit subscribe. Also, I have a brand new podcast I'm super excited about. It's not really makeup related. It's kind of everything related. It talks about confidence, how to be yourself, not care what other people think, give no fucks. Basically, that is what the podcast is about. So I will link it below if you're interested. I just uploaded my pilot yesterday. I'm so excited. So make sure you subscribe to that if you're into it so you don't miss a upload. And that's it. So let's get right into the video. First up, I already have on my concealer, my foundation. I'm going to take my Dermablend, and this is the Illuminating Banana Powder. I love this banana powder. It's really good if you have a lot of yellow under your eyes, or if you have a lot of redness, things like that. And if you have dry skin, I like this too because it doesn't dry me out, where the original Laura Mercier one dries me out completely underneath here, and then it makes me look crepey and way older, and that'll bring out a lot of like your wrinkles and stuff. So I definitely recommend this for underneath your eyes, especially if you want to bake too. But if you're on an oilier side, you could use the Laura Mercier one. I would use the Laura Mercier one with no problem around here where I'm more oily, or maybe around my mouth. But up here, ain't happening. I'm taking this one because I know I'm safe with it. So I just put a little bit in here. And I know a lot of people use their beauty blender. I don't. I use this old Morphe one, and look at it. It's dense, so it's going to pick up a lot of powder and not fall off, and then it kind of comes to a triangle. And with that triangle, it's going to sit really good like up in here. So I'm just going to take a little bit, and I'm just going to push it under my eyes. And I only let this bake for a few minutes, nothing too wild, because again, I want to keep my under eye looking youthful. And I know you see probably a lot of people on the internet baking forever until they're all done, but if you are a little bit older, it's just going to bring out lots of wrinkles, and you don't want that. So I kind of just push it on there, just tap. You don't want to like smudge it all around. When you smudge it all around, that's where you're going to move the makeup that's underneath, and it's going to turn out really muddy. Below here, and you can put a little bit up into your eyebrows too, up into your forehead. And I know it looks kind of silly, but that's also going to help even out your eyebrows, just so it doesn't look so painted on, and it's just going to make them look a little bit more fluffier once you wipe it all away. So I'm just going to let that sit for like a very quick second. Then I'm going to take the All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. I love this, especially if you're going on vacation, or you're going to be around water, whatever it may be, or maybe you're going to have a cry fest later with your girlfriends. You never know. I'm going to take this one. And I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This is from Doll 10. This is one of my favorite ones. It's nice and big and bristles. So the bristles are really close, which is going to keep the powder on the brush and not fall off. But it's going to just smash it. It's just going to push it kind of into your skin and give you more of that mattifying effect. So I'm just going to do that, push it into my skin. And as I do that, I'm going to start wiping away that Dermablend, so they marry each other, and it doesn't look like banana powder, nice bright yellow, and then this nice, you know, more skin type of color. It's just a nice even blend. And again, just push it in your skin. Sometimes I bring it down my neck if I'm looking a little red, or I don't got much of a tan. And again, I'm just gonna wipe it into my brows a little bit, but just use a light hand. You don't want to use a heavy hand, then you'll wipe half your brow away. So the reason I do this is, one, because it makes it nice and full coverage if you have any blemishes, red spots, anything like that, unevenness. But then two, it also kind of sets the foundation that's underneath, so that way it's kind of like trapping it. That way it's not going to move, and you're going to have that nice full coverage, and it's going to last longer. Next up, I'm going to take this Peach Perfect color. It's the Translucent Caramelized Peach. So it's just a little bit darker, more of a skin color. And I'm not using a full-on bronzer right now because it's wintertime and I'm not tan like I am in the summer. If I was darker, I would use like a full force bronzer, but I am pasty. So again, I'm just going to put it into here again. Then I'm just going to pick up a Sigma F40 brush, and then I'm just going to start at where my cheekbone is. So if you don't really have like a protruding cheekbone, kind of just like where your ear, the top of your ear is. And I'm just going to start rubbing it in here. I love this peach one because, okay, this is weird, but it tastes like peaches. I don't think you're supposed to eat it, but when it accidentally gets into your mouth, I'm not too mad about it. And so I have really hollow cheeks. If you don't have, if you want hollow cheeks, like you could be very with the straight line, but I have really like cheeks, so I kind of bring it into my apples and my cheeks too, just so I don't look so carved out. Start where I started again, and I'm just going to bring it down into my jawline. That's going to help carve out your jaw and make it look a little bit more chiseled. And if you feel like you went a little too far, maybe it's not looking so blended, just take that big brush and kind of just push it all together. When you push it all together, it's almost like marrying it, so you can kind of build back up again without it looking really cakey, because it's going to push it in, but then it's also going to take extra away. What I do is when I dip back in my pan, I'm going to start at my hairline so that the heaviest is at the hairline, and then it diffuses down. Because if you don't do that, it's going to look really, really flat, and then you're going to start kind of just not looking three-dimensional. And it's not going to give you that idea that your forehead's smaller, or whatever you're trying to do, or your forehead's bigger, whatever it is you're trying to do for yourself. And I just bring it right around like a little C shape right in here. So now if I want that really sucked out look, what you could do is go back into your Dermablend, which is lighter, and you could put it on your sponge. And I do this a lot of the times when I'm doing like a cat eye. Bring it up, and I'll bring this one up. Again, I don't get it back in here because I do not want my fine lines, you know, looking more protruded. Is that a right word? I don't know. And then because I want a little bit more definition, now if you want more of a chiseled cheek area, you could do the same thing. Find where you want your cheek and just pat it on right up here. Let it sit for a second. I feel pretty good about it though. I don't want to go too crazy with the contour, just because then I'm going to look like a Skeletor. Then I'm going to take a little deeper of a bronzer, and this one's by Winky Lux. It actually smells like coffee. I have a thing for makeup that smells. Is that weird? I don't know. It's just me. Then I'm just going to take the same Sigma F40, just a different one, and pat it in there. And I'm just going to focus this right at the bottom, just so they come out a little bit more. And then I'm just going to focus this deeper shade of brown into more my hairline. And again, right down where I want to hollow out my cheeks just a little bit. And then down into my jaw, and you just follow your natural jawline. And then kind of, as you have the most amount of powder here, just kind of diffuse it out and blend it out. And again, if you feel like you've came too far up here, you can add a little bit more of that powder. So let's just pretend I add a little too much bronzer. You can kind of put that back on. Let it sit for a second. And then I kind of feel like I have like a weird right here, so it's a little bit there. And I kind of just bring it up. And then when you're ready, if you feel like, you know, it's looking pretty good, you can just wipe that powder away. I'm gonna wipe this away. And that'll give you more of that. It just gives you more definition. So if you want to be more daytime, this could be like more daytime to work. And then if you're going out for drinks or something later and you just want to look a little bit more sculpted, sultry, you could do a little bit more definition over here. But it's up to you how much depth you want, if you want to use darker powder or whatever. So if I'm throwing on like a really deep smoky eye, I would probably do a little bit darker over here just so they even it out. You don't want to do something really light and then big dark eyes, because that'll give you like a really skeleton type of look or vampire type of look, which is, if you're into that, go for it. I mean, I have my days where I want to look like that. But for something like this, I would just take it really easy on the eyes. And then you can add your highlight, your blush. I'm such a blush girl. I love blush. I feel like it just leaves your face looking really feminine and youthful and young. So that's pretty much how I do my powder contour. I hope this helps you guys. I love doing powder contour. I really don't do a lot of cream contour because day to day it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and you don't really need that much coverage if you're going to be wearing makeup for a little bit and then come home and wash it off. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope it helps you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and I'll see you soon.